Hi Capricorn, welcome to your weekly tarot reading with me, Raphael Ray from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure. So, I just want to call into both of these decks all forms of love, like peace, prosperity and abundance, and I hope that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, let's see what the destiny of the week ahead is for you. So, the destiny card is like it tells you what is the major theme of the week, what is the overarching energy that you're going to be working with, what's going to be the most prominent energy that happens for you this week. Let's see what it is. Okay, so you get the Hierophant, the High Priest. This is the sign of Taurus. It also represents the structure, it represents the status quo, represents society. In the old times this represented structured religion. So this card, when you see it, it usually talks about the fact that this is you deciding to interact with the higher ups when you're talking about work. It talks about getting involved with government and sort of like legal proceedings, all of those things. It also talks about in terms of work, it can sometimes represent almost like a promotion, like that kind of thing, because it talks about you going through the process of being given more responsibility. It talks about you going through the process that you need to go through to be elevated in your status, to become part of the group, essentially, and not necessarily the group. What do I mean? Like, because it represents the status quo, and in old times it would have been structured religion. So I guess what I mean is this talks about you becoming a part of the upper echelons. It talks about you elevating in a level. So that's why it represents things like promotions. It can represent things like being called to service as well. In some traditions as well, this card actually represents initiation, and obviously to go through a process of promotion you have to, in some respects, be initiated, which is quite an interesting juxtaposition, I guess. In terms of like your spiritual life and your connection to the source and connection to the divine, this talks about a process of initiation. It's actually a very deeply spiritual card, and it actually talks about you going through the process of being initiated by life, and more importantly being initiated through the spirit. It's a very good card. It talks about, like I said, it's ruled by Taurus, and it actually talks about change, but change that's happening to your personal structure, to this personal structure of your life. So this week, be on the lookout for opportunities that opportunities for further involvement in things that allow and grant you more responsibility. This is definitely a week for you to demonstrate your interest in stepping up or stepping sideways into another position. For sure, this talks about you really tapping into that ability, and more importantly tapping into, or rather keeping your ear to the ground. This is you getting very, very practical about how you can elevate or move forward with something. What fleshes that out or adds to it or hinders it is... So your direction card is how you best achieve your destiny, what is most likely to help or hinder you along that path this week. Okay, so you get the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords talks about, it can be, because usually the Knights represent situations, they very rarely represent people unless they show up as people. This can represent fast changes, it can represent lots of fast talking, lots of having to keep on your feet to keep your mind sharp. It can represent fast communication and communication going backwards and forwards very, very quickly. I would say this week, if you find yourself having to speak to people, certainly people in authoritative positions, I would think very, very, very quickly and very deeply before you speak or before you respond to what you're being asked. More importantly, I would formulate get a formula in your mind of how to respond to things. Take a breath before you respond to anything, especially in communication, especially with people of the higher up. You know, so this could be your boss, this could be supervisors, this could be you know, anybody of that ilk, anybody that is your superior, or anybody that belongs to the establishment, you know, that you work within. Be very, very careful about how you respond to things that you're asked, and more importantly, be very articulate this week, and don't be aggressive in your approach. You know, it's all well and good attacking something, and you guys are very much in the forefront of your mind. You know, you're very smart, very forthright, very astute in what you do, but I really think that this is the week to temper that. So don't act quickly, act methodically, but more importantly, think deeply. Think quickly, but respond slowly, would be my message for you this week. So, very interesting. Let me obviously let me know how it pans out for you. I'm always interested in that. Leave me a comment. Thank you so much to all the subbies. If you would like a personal reading with me, you can grab one on the email address below. If you would like to donate to Radiant Reality, of course, that would be completely your choice, but we would love you forever for it anyway. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. It means so much, and I'm so grateful. Take care, have a great week, and I will see you soon.